All right, Harry, the book of Revelations can be a challenging study. What intrigues you about chapters 2 and 3?
Yeah, well, I've always been fascinated by them because this is the only time that that we as a Christian community have ever had feedback to what we're actually doing. It's
Mhm.
actually Jesus is telling the church at that time, seven churches in what they call Asia at that time, which is called Turkey today, but
Okay.
all seven churches are there. Paul brought them the gospel 40 years earlier in Acts 19, if you want to look that up, in Ephesus. So what is really interesting is how that there was quite a range in the good and the bad. So
Mhm.
Jesus gives a kind of the things that are going good, the things are not going so good. One church had nothing going wrong, the other church had another one had nothing going right. But there was one thing that was in common with all of them, and I never really noticed that till till just a year or two ago. And I found that really, really fascinating because all of them have one thing in common, and it is that at the bottom of each message, there is about 5 words, and it says, to the one who is victorious.
Do
And
you
then
think
there's
that
a
mean is do you
message.
think that's implying to like the individual in the church, or do you think that's implying to like the church overcoming?
No, the church, and I think that the problem is it always will be that way, just like Israel. Israel always had never got it together properly, but individuals within the country did really well. The heroes of
That's
the
good.
faith,
That's a
as we
good
call
point.
them. Yeah, and the heroes of the faith, Jesus says on the bottom, there's a hero of the faith if you want to be. So within every church, there was those to the one who is victorious. Well, victorious means that you fought the good fight and you
Mm.
were faithful. And I believe that the victorious is going to happen if we find Jesus, if we find the ladder,
Do
if
you
we
think it's
find,
also like a lot of people like we like tend to like overthink the church is doing this wrong, the church is doing
yeah,
that wrong, where it's like
totally.
it's kind of gives us an assurance that like even if your church is doing some stuff wrong, obviously you don't want it to be extreme, but if it's not doing too
Yeah,
wrong, like fight the good fight, like you're saying.
yeah, very much, because it's not about what the rest of the people are doing around you. We can find all kinds of things to discourage us, but what you have to do is we find Jesus. We have to cross the Jordan, as you might say.
Mhm.
We have to get to the promised land. We have to be focused. If we're focused on the church, I think we're going to be lost because we're comparing ourselves to others and all that stuff. But if we fall in love with Jesus, with our purpose, Jesus is our purpose. And if we can fall in love with him, then Jesus has a message to the one who is victorious. Now, those seven messages past that were all a little different, okay?
Mhm.
But there was one message that was common to them all, that there is those, even the church had nothing going right, there was still that message to the one who is victorious. And it's really special because that is available to us, but we can only have it if we keep our eye on the goal, on Jesus, and what Jesus taught us, and the message and the parables and all those things, go back to the beginning and fall in love with him. And if we can get that right, we will be victorious. And that is the goal. And then if we can get victorious, then hopefully we can share that with our classmates and so on,
That's really good.
and share it up, because that opportunity is now, and it's so beautiful if we can get that together.
That's awesome. I really agree with that. Thank you, Harry.